Okay, now that our create method is working, our create route is also working. Let's go ahead to create our show method and the get all the books method and the route as well. So a route that will display all the books, yeah, and a method to handle that logic. Good. So let's continue. So inside our controller over here, we get inside where we created the create book method. Okay, good. So we also create our get all books method. So let's create another function called it get all books. Okay, get all books. And as well, we are going to use the Gin context. So we use our C representation. Good. Then we will do our Gin context as well. We bring it in as our parameter. Good. Then inside our method, we are going to um, first of all handle all the books. So we will first create our a variable we call a variable called books, and we will just say that it's a type of the book struct that we created in our model. So let's say a variable called books, and we will say that the type is that book struct we created in our models. So we will do it like this, and we'll say that is from here. Good. Now we are going to go ahead and find our books. Now we will connect it to the database folder over here, and we will go inside it and we will use it the db variable, that's the global variable that we created over here. Good. And the GORM will handle that for us and connect our DB database, and we will just get all the books from the database. Great. Now let's do that. So we bring in our database. So database dot the global variable that we created. So DB and that GORM package we are going to use a method inside called find. A find method in the GORM package, and we are going to find all the books. So we will use the pointer for all the books model, the book struct that we created in the models. So we use the struct so that we can get everything. Good. So the pointer for the book that we have created over here. Good. So that is it. Since this is an instance of the models book struct that we created, so we will just bring in it here that we are finding everything inside it. Good. Now this is it. We are done. But let's create a condition to handle error in case connecting to the database and trying to get all the books for us, an error occurred. Good. So let's say that if let's save it as the result variable. Okay, let's save it as a result variable first and say that as we are connecting to it, we will save it as a variable called result. Now if the results give us an error, so if the result there is an error connecting to it, dot error. Okay, so if the error is not empty, now we can go ahead and say, oh, why do I still keep making the now? Okay, okay, supposed to be nil rather. Great. So we'll bring in our C representation of the Gin context, and we will say the JSON and the HTTP to check the status of the connection. So if the status gives us internal server error, so there is this method in the HTTP package. So status internal server error over here. Good. If there is something like that, then the Gin will take care of that and give us the feedback. So we do Gin dot the age, then we'll come here and bring in our error message. So we say that it is actually an error, and the error was that it failed to fetch the books. I think this is clear enough. Don't forget your comma over here. Good. Now, then after outputting the error, then we will do return. Good. Then it will get back to us. Good. Now we have handled the error gracefully. So now our database should connect exactly. So now after that, after connecting it, if there is no error, then we should get the status of the connection okay. If it is okay and it went through successfully, so we bring in our C representation of the Gin context, and we will do the JSON, and in this case we are going to check that the status is okay. Status okay, like this. Okay, and we'll bring in the books, the books inside the database. Alright, good. Now we are done with our method for getting all the books. Now let's get into our main.go file and create the route to handle that. Yeah, so inside our group route, we only have the create method. Now we go ahead and create one to handle the getting of all the book route. So we will say book route dot, and it's going to be a get method, since we are getting it, not inserting it into a database. We are getting all the books inside our database. The book route dot get, then we will say that if we actually go to the home page, that is where all the books should display. Okay, so we will do an empty string over here. So the empty string will automatically take us to the home page. So when we do the home page slash books, as we said, we gave it a family name over here, a group name over here called slash books. So only the slash books, if it is a get method, it will get us all the books. And only the slash books, if it is a post method, that means that we are inserting into the database. That is what we did earlier. Good. Now let's continue and say that if it is the get method for the slash books, it should get into the controller, and the method called get all books should handle that. So controller, then get all books. Exactly, then we are done. Yes, now let's start our server and run it to see how things are going. Let's bring in our terminal, okay, and do our go run main.go, and let's wait for the server to start. Good, our server has started. Let's allow the server. Now let's get into our browser and check it. Now in our browser over here, let's bring in our local host column 8080 for the default port. Now we will do /books over here. Good, as we group it over here, so only the /books should get us all the books. Now let's enter. Good, now we see it over here. It has gotten us the book in the database. So we inserted only one book inside into the database table, so that's what it's getting for us. Exactly. Now our get all books method and the routes are working perfectly.